What's going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and as I had said yesterday in my video, I plan to do a mock draft today, so I'm going to do another one. Even though, we only have 4 picks in this draft, so this is going to be interesting, and obviously our first pick doesn't come until round 3. So I will be doing another one, though, and I do intend to do probably at least another couple before the draft actually happens. So between now and then, just for fun and just to kind of, play around with it and stuff a little bit. Because like I said, I mean, this off season for me is a lot of learning in a lot of different ways, and not just with, these prospects and stuff, but, with the content and the formatting of all these different things. Because, I'm just kind of getting into this stuff for the first time, a lot of this stuff when it comes to like scouting and evaluating and mock drafts and big boards and all these different things. So still got a long way to go, but I enjoy it and I have a good time with it, and so it's fun for me. And hopefully you guys enjoy it too, not just from a content perspective but also from a learning perspective, because hopefully it allows you guys to get some good information. Those of you who are not like already balls deep into this kind of stuff, those of you who don't have playing background or scouting background or coaching background or any of that stuff. So anyway, we go on this journey together. Before I do get into that, though, I do want to quickly mention the tragic news that came out today about Dwayne Haskins. RIP to the homie, man. That sucks. He was I saw a bunch of stuff on Twitter and social media and whatnot about it, and apparently he was only about a month away from turning 25, so obviously still only 24, so super young, still had a lot of life to go. I mean, theoretically, obviously not, because he tragically passed today. He got hit by a car. He was apparently, I would be curious to see a little bit more information, though, on it. Talk to friends and family, maybe, if he was with somebody right before then and stuff, because it seems a little weird to me. Apparently he was like, I don't know, going for a run or something on a freeway, like the limited access portion of a freeway, and then like tried to cross it and then got hit by a truck. So my only question would be is, was he having some issues? And because I don't know, it's just a strange thing, and I don't want to like make too many inferences or assumptions or anything, but most people know you don't go jogging on a highway, and if he did, and if he was having some mental health issues, maybe, I know it's hard to talk about, but it's a major thing. I don't know. I'm not saying he did. I'm just saying I would personally like to know more about it, because that sucks, man. Young kid had, it's just rough. And Adam Schefter's catching some heat because he, mentioned that he's had some struggles since being in the NFL, which I think is completely inappropriate, because look, at the end of the day, whatever happened in the NFL or whatever happened in college, none of that is relevant to this, and when you report the news, there's no point in saying, and I don't know if he like deleted the original, like his first tweet had said, that he was a standout at Ohio State, but then he had struggles with Washington and the Steelers, right? Struggles in the NFL. None of that's fucking relevant, dude. Like, you can just completely leave that out of the report of your tweet, because he tweeted out. He did change it later, to rephrase it a little bit, but he still included the fact that he was a standout at Ohio State, and then he said in the next one that he was the first round pick of Washington and then later played for the Steelers. Why is any of that relevant? None of that is relevant. At most, you could say, Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Dwayne Haskins. Like, none of that is relevant, bro. So leave all that shit out. There's no, like, and that way you don't even have to think of a non-offensive way to say it. because you're just not saying it all because it's not important to the events, right? And honestly, frankly, what I actually would want to know more about is why he was there to begin with. What was going on? Why was he, jogging? I mean, if that's the case, why was he jogging on an interstate? Did he have some, issues? And was it that? Because, it's a foolish thing to go running on an interstate with traffic. So, I mean, this is not the movie Dodgeball. People don't do that. It's a common sense thing. So it leads me to believe that there was probably something a little bit more going on to that situation. That's what I would like to be, informed about. I don't care about the stuff that he did in the NFL and stuff. So I do get people's, I do get why people are upset about that, right? So anyway, enough about that. It is, it is a tragic thing, and it's mental health is a hard thing to talk about in and of itself as well, even when it doesn't involve, somebody's tragic death. And again, I'm not saying that is the case or that is related, but it just seems a little weird to me, the circumstances, and so I would be curious, about that. But either way, tragic, and I had him before free agency and before they brought in Teddy Bridgewater. I actually did have him on my list of potential free agent targets just because he is a young guy that has, had a ton of potential and upside. And, I wouldn't have minded him as a developmental, backup for us if that was the route that they would go. It wouldn't have been my first choice. Teddy Bridgewater certainly, I think, was probably the best option that they could have gone and the best route they could have gone, but I wouldn't have hated it, and I certainly would have understood, as a backup, because obviously he wouldn't have been the starter, but with that potential and that developmental upside, I could see it if that's what they would have done. So he was in Florida too, by the way, because he was training down here. I live in California, down there in Florida. So anyway, enough of that. RIP to the homie. I'm not a believer in God personally, but for those of you who are, prayers out to him. For me, well wishes to the family and my condolences on their loss. It's a terrible thing. For those of you who do believe in souls, hopefully his soul is off to, a better place, as they say. And I mean, it just sucks, dude. It just sucks. But all right. Anyway, enough of that. Let's go ahead and get to the actual business of this video. So we are going to do another mock draft. This time it's going to be from Pro Football Network. I'm trying to use different ones, although there don't seem to be very many, at all. Only a handful of websites. Actually, I only found 3 or 4 in total, and one of them's not very good. So I may only use a couple, but I do want to do multiple and just kind of see how it plays out for, between now and then, as a little way to add some extra content and stuff. But let's go ahead and do this. We will do Dolphins, obviously, 7 rounds, normal speed, and should be fine. And let's go ahead and do this. So round 1, Aiden Hutchinson, then Thibodeau, Trevon Walker, so 3 edge players right off the bat. Then Ekwonu, Neal, Malik Willis, Ahmad Gardner, Jordan Davis, Jamison Williams. So obviously we're basically just watching right now all the players that we're missing out on until we get to our first pick. So a bunch of offensive linemen now, wide receivers. There goes Devin Lloyd. There goes Nakobe Dean. Olave and Burks are gone. We already saw Penning and a couple of these guys. So there goes another edge. There goes Kenyon Green. Chad Muma goes off the board. Christian Watkins. Bunch more edge. There goes Breece Hall. Trey McBride. There goes Jahan Dotson. Alec Pierce gone. Kenneth Walker now off the board. So let's see. Christian Harris is the top rated so far from their big board linebacker. Then we got defensive tackle Travis Jones left. There goes Mechie. Man, so many good players just coming off the board, though. But look, I mean, Christian Harris, I mean, he's fallen hella... Oh, wait, never mind. There he goes to the fucking Vikings. So I was going to say if he falls to the Dolphins, he's fallen this far. But, I mean, that obviously... Isaiah Spiller's still on the board, though. We do still need... Oh, wait. Yep, he's still on the board. Alec Lindstrom's still there, though, too. And it is now up to us. Okay, so I'm not going to do any trades this time. Maybe I'll do some trades next time, especially because it only looks like there's maybe going to be a couple websites that are actually, like, have decent simulators. So, all right, let's see. So we got some interesting options, though, here. I mean... And, oh, by the way, so as far as needs at this point, you know, obviously we just signed Thomas Morstead, so punter's off the board. For me, at this point, I would say offensive line is still probably the biggest need. Center and right tackle being obviously the two needs there. Running back and then middle linebacker. So actually how it's played out, there are still some interesting prospects here. There's Isaiah Spiller. You know, we need running back help. Alec Lindstrom, he's a center from Boston College. Not a bad pick there. And then Tyler Algier. Are the you know, as far as PFN's big board, because this is how, you know, they have them ranked, but we're picking at 102. All these guys would be, I mean, even Channing Tindall, he's, you know, rated their number one, their 100th player on their big board, but, you know, we're picking at 102. There's still some good, intriguing options here for us with the way the with the way that the board has fallen. Man, I don't know. It's kind of a tough choice. I would say, though, look, offensive line is definitely... Man, it's just a tough choice, though, for me, because offensive line is definitely the bigger need, and Alec Lindstrom probably would be a solid addition there, and center is definitely, you know, a priority need. My issue with it is a couple things. One, the big reason... or one of the big reasons why I wanted to just go all veteran offensive linemen in free agency this year is because we've, you know, over the past 3 seasons, we've invested a bunch of picks, including first, second, third round picks on all these guys. We now have Armstead at left tackle, Connor Williams at right or left guard. Robert Hunt is probably going to stay at right guard, so that's center and right tackle. And Austin Jackson's probably going to get the first nod at right tackle, right? So you have all these other guys to work. Dieter, who probably will get the top nod at center. But then you have, you know, Kinley and Eichenberg and all these other guys, you know. I just don't want another rookie, another young player. Although, out of all of them, Alec Lindstrom probably would be the better, because I'm not really sold yet on Dieter as center. So, but then again, we still do need a running back. Although, if Kenneth Walker or Breece Hall was here, which is never going to happen, I do like Isaiah Spiller, but I think I'm going to go Alec Lindstrom. That was a tough choice. Man, there goes, Darian, Kennard was still there. I didn't even see him. Well, anyway, Lindstrom's a good pick, though, and like I said, I mean, you know, Austin Jackson does kind of scare me at right tackle, bro, I'm not gonna lie. All right, anyway, so let's see. What do we have next? So, we still need running back, right tackle, and linebacker. Yeah, so we have, again, man, it's so hard. Let's see. Man, they don't have a write-up for Troy Anderson. That's coming soon. See, Zonovan Knight has been a model of consistency. Junior running back has averaged 5.5 yards per carry. And obviously, you know, let's see, full report. obviously, oh, I'm not going to read through all of this, but, you know, we brought in Chase Edmonds and Raheem Mostert, who are likely to be the top guys right off the bat, especially since we're not going to be taking a running back in rounds 1 through 3 most likely. I mean, I guess we could potentially take a running back in round 3 still, but these guys are probably going to be, you know, ahead of the depth chart most likely, no matter who we would bring in. So, I guess you could be fine with a little bit more of a developmental player. Man, let's see, 5'9", 194 for this guy, Zonovan Knight. He's 209, 5'10". Man, I don't know. What else do we need? Let's see, defense. Who do we got? Linebacker, Troy Anderson. Not much in the way of linebackers anymore. Let's see, linebackers. I mean, I don't know much about any of these dudes, though, like, honestly. Okay, running back. You know what? Let's go Zonovan Knight. Fuck it, at 125. I'm trying to learn. There's so many. The thing about it is like, if you're not already, you know, deep into watching college and following these players, it's a lot to catch up with and it moves so fast, right? Because every year it's a new pool of players that are coming into the league. So, you know, the guys that are coming out this year and next year, you know, I'm not going to have a lot of information on them because I'm just starting to, you know, get into it. And so I am, you know, like I said, I do plan to watch a lot more college this season. You know, so games on Saturday now, right? Like, and then, you know, I should be able to learn a lot over the next few years, but it's probably going to take me a couple years to really actually, like, have a solid foundational, or a solid, foundation of knowledge when it comes to these players to actually be able to have, like, a legit and somewhat accurate evaluation. Because I don't know, like, I know more about, you know, the guys who are expected to be taken in the top end of the draft, because that's, you know, that's what my focus was going into this off season, because I wanted to, you know, I wanted to have a focus so that way I could, you know, put in the work, find out about these guys, and then since there's a ton of information, we're about to have another pick here in a second, but since there's a ton of information, it was going to be theoretically easier, you know, but a lot of these guys in the back end of the draft, it's harder to compile information, so it's harder to learn about these guys even, right? So, like, it's tough, but I'm doing my best for you, and hopefully, you know, over the next couple seasons, I'll be able to polish this up and you know, be able to give you you know, a better evaluation of these players, because right now I honestly can't really give you much of one. So let's see, I took a center, I took a running back, still need a linebacker. Oh look, there's another Fatu Kasi. I wonder, I'm pretty sure, coming soon, Mike Rose, linebacker. He'll be one of the most experienced players, Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. Does best work in the ground game, 6'4", 245, physical threat coming in. I mean, you know, and we're in what, round 7 now? So you know what, Mike Rose, we need a linebacker and we need a guy that's like him, right? Big frame that's supposed to be good in the run game and stuff. Now, obviously, this is their, you know, take on this guy. I have never watched any of his tape or anything like that. So again, I don't know anything about him, but this is what they had to say, and that's the kind of player that we need. Round 7, obviously, he's going to be a developmental player, basically no matter what. So, and then, you know what? I'm going to go, let's see, what do we got for tackle left? Do we have any? I'm honestly just going to look to see if, what are we at, 247? Damn, see, and look, none of these dudes have write-ups, like, because... And this is what I mean. This is part of what I mean when I say it's hard to, like, gather information on these guys. Like, I don't have any experience watching well, first of all, I don't have any playing experience, coaching experience, or scouting experience in my life. So I'm already at a disadvantage there. Then you add in the fact that, I haven't really watched college football yet to this point in my life, and I'm just going to start it this year. So, I don't really have anything to go off of except for what's out there on the internet and, what these experts and analysts have to say about these players. So if they don't have write-ups, I don't have anything to go off of. It really sucks. I'm not going to lie. But, hey, you know what? I'm going to take my lumps with it this year. And, I'm just going to keep it pushing, bro. And I'm just going to do my best for you guys. So, it's round 7. Fuck it. Who cares? I'm going to go ahead and take another offensive tackle. And we're at, 246? So I'm just going to go with the guy that's closest to us. Man, I fucking am going to screw this up so bad. Bamadili Olaseni? I'm so sorry about that, but I'm going to take you, dude. I'm going to take you. So there you have it. And I think that is our last pick now for this draft because we only have 4 picks. 3rd round pick, 4th round pick, and 2 7th rounds. So we do not have a 1st round pick. We don't have a 2nd round pick. We have... no, hang on. 3rd round, 4th round. Yeah. So we have 1 3rd round, 1 4th round. We have no 1st, no 2nd. We have a 3rd, we have a 4th, no 5th, no 6th, and then 2 in round 7. So, yee! This draft is going to be boring. I'm not going to lie. But hey, listen, I mean, at the end of the day, again, even if it's not how I would have done things, most of it I would have done. But even though there's, I say some of it, the one thing really, I know people hate that I keep talking about it, but it's huge. It's huge. Not only was it, recent news, but, that trade for Tyreek Hill completely changed the outlook of the draft. And so we're talking about the draft and it's super relevant. So because of that, we don't have, a 1st round or a 2nd round pick anymore. We don't have one of our 4th round picks. And then obviously also, in the Devontae Parker trade, they gave away our 5th round pick. So we only have 4 picks left in this draft, 1 3rd, 1 4th, and 2 7th. So honestly, it's going to be kind of boring when it comes to the draft. But what I was going to say is they have, if I'm keeping it real though, they have at least theoretically and on paper, filled pretty much the rest of their holes. And I guess, if they do the draft somewhat like how I just did it, then I suppose technically they could potentially fill those holes, even if these players are not necessarily ready to come in year 1 as a rookie and fill those holes, right? Okay, so if we take Alec Lindstrom at 102, Zonovan Knight, the running back, at 125, Mike Rose, the linebacker, at 224, and then an offensive tackle, 247. If we do something along those lines, then, theoretically and on paper and based off of the positions and the positions of need, et cetera, you fill the holes. But, maybe these guys are not quite ready to have that kind of an impact right away as year 1 players, but hopefully they'll develop into that. Now, part of the issue with that is probabilities, right? Because you're basically just picking in the back half of the draft this year. So, there is a chance that these guys never end up being the right pieces because they're developmental pieces or they're developmental players almost regardless because of where they're going to be drafted. So, I don't know. It's a balancing act. We'll see how it all plays out. I'm not really excited at the fact that we have no picks this year. But again, another one of the things on the flip side of that is next year they are loaded, including, 2 1st round picks. So, God forbid if these guys don't pan out, then they'll certainly have plenty of options next year. I definitely think that, we gotta give it a little bit of time to see how it plays out. And I do think that there is at the very least, again, and I've said this, number of times, there are smart and good decisions being made. There are, fundamental philosophies that are sound and that you can agree with and feel comfortable with. Addressing the offensive line and wanting to be a more run-heavy team, et cetera, lots of different little things. The way that they've built this offensive coaching staff, there are a lot of things that lead you to believe what they are doing is a lot smarter and well-rounded of a plan and an approach than what the Dolphins have done over the past 2 decades and certainly over the past few years. So there is a lot of good reason for hope and optimism. So hopefully it pans out, man. I'm on board for it. They got my support, and I'm always going to keep it 100 with you guys. I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to tell you how I feel about the full picture. I'm never going to leave anything out, but I am cautiously optimistic, and I'm hoping that after this year, I can take that fucking, cautious tag off of it and just be optimistic for the future of this Dolphins instead of being constantly worried about, the pieces not working well together and the whole fucking puzzle falling apart, by the end of the season. So let's see how it goes. I am excited and I can't wait. So with that, let me get out of here. Before I do, make sure you check out the Rave On Sports App, the new fan-driven sports app for all of your sports, whether it be basketball, baseball, football, college, whatever you like, they got it. And they're looking to enhance your game day experience with live play-by-play coverage, live chats with other fans and content creators like myself, while also providing you with an arena to dispute the terrible officiating. So look for the links to that in the description box. And with that, I'm going to get out of here. Hope you guys appreciate my perspective. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Share my channel and videos with your friends and family. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comment section. And of course, as always, follow me on Twitter at DillonTartaro, as well as on Instagram at Dolphins_with_Dillon. And with that, I'm out. I'll see y'all soon. Fins up.
Miami wins it.